Hey everybody, once again to reintroduce myself, my name is Gosha Dolgun. I am head of crypto at SLON. I am responsible for implementing, executing sales and service of our crypto, fintech, Web3 projects. Today I'll be talking a little bit about creating marketing teams in the crypto industry and what it takes to be successful, as well as some of the obstacles that arise. First question that I get asked a lot, and that is, what do Web3 marketing teams look like? What does our marketing team look like? What do the marketing teams of our clients and partners look like? And I'll show a few examples. Maybe it could be this, or maybe it's that solo entrepreneur who has all the creative ideas, who outsources all of his work to an agency. Or maybe it's that big startup with hundreds of millions in funding, and they're spending on everything from Super Bowl ads to large production teams in-house, and hundreds of people and new hires. But truth be told, it doesn't really matter what that team looks like. It could be successful from one person to 100 people to 1,000 people. And I'll jump pretty quickly into why. The first point being, in 2022, 16% of companies globally are fully remote. And although some might say it should be more since of COVID, and obviously we had a lot more remote work, this is officially the companies that are saying, hey, you guys can work from the office or you could be remote. And I think, and my prediction is, in 5-10 years, the majority, over 50% of companies will go remote. So that will take away a lot from the standard model of a big in-house marketing team. There will be a lot more agency work. There will be a lot more outsourcing, a lot more remote communication. So there's really not going to be one picture of that perfect marketing team. Next is point 2 and 3, and they sort of hold hands together, and that's Web3 aims to decentralize. And decentralizing is sort of spreading the attention, the impressions, the votes almost to all of the community. It's not a single organization, it's not a single board or a single executive or a single government. It's many people, from tens and dozens to hundreds and thousands to millions, and in the future billions. Billions of people will have a say into what certain projects will go into, what direction they'll take, and so forth. And fourth, really tied closely to that, is the consumer data will be less available as a result of blockchain technology, as a result of decentralization. People are valuing their privacy more and more. One of the reasons Facebook is getting a lot of critique is for that. And people, they're not believing, how could Facebook transition to Meta, which is so forward on blockchain and privacy, when it has exploited a lot of that from their users before. So again, it doesn't have to be that large Facebook marketing or research team. It could be one person, it could be 100. But the very key takeaway from this is that the focus needs to be on community. The focus needs to be on communicating, giving utility, incentive to the community, being effective, being transparent in day-to-day communication, talking about announcements, progress, achievements, and so forth. Really having a fan base rather than users and customers. Really driving that almost cult-like following. And so what does your marketing leader need to look like to be successful in crypto, Web3, and so forth? And again, there's 4 points here that I think really stand out the most and that we see in our top partners and clients. First one being interaction with Web2 platforms. It will take a lot of time before you can fully say and transition that, hey, I'm going to fly forward into Web3 technology and only market in that ways. No, you will need to bring over hundreds of thousands of millions of people, educate them on why Web3 and blockchain is different, and show them sort of the new path, the new road, and be able to advertise and interact on Web 2 before jumping to Web 3. The second point is NFTs, and NFTs have an overlap with creator economy. NFTs are the best way for creators right now to monetize what they do, for their supporters, to support them, for them to make money. And as we've seen, NFTs without utility have all gone away. They've all crashed their floor prices, and maybe out of the millions of collections, 99% of them are gone. And we'll talk about one a little bit later in this presentation that has done a lot with communicating to creators and being efficient in partnerships with them. The third point is financial structures. You need to be able to understand how to motivate creators, agencies through token allocation, through investment projects, and in many different ways that are going to arise later on within blockchain technology, within the Web3 space. It's being able to be paid in tokens for performance, being open to that. That's another great way to make more money as a marketing team, something we're doing a lot of ourselves, and we're taking and investing content for tokens or being paid in tokens, not just USDT or USDC or some other tokens and stable coins, but that of prospective projects and that of our clients. The fourth point being is very similar to financial structures. It's understanding how to motivate users. Marketing leaders in the Web3 space need to be so closely tied to their product and their marketing department. It almost has to be one. You have to understand how your product can incentivize your users, and you have to put it up front. Tell potential clients, tell potential customers what that will look like, why it's better for them, and why they have to sort of hop on board and join the fan base. Next, I will show a couple of our clients that are so good at communicating with their clients, communicating with their users. The first example is a couple of the dozens and hundreds of GIFs we've made for capitalandcurrency.com. Again, very stylish, very straight to the point, but I think very visually pleasing as well. Some of these GIFs for different tokens and projects. And some more banners. Why I'm showing these, you can see maybe by the cat or by Yoda, Capital.com and Currency.com, very serious space, very serious businesses, but they know what trends are going on. They know what their users want to see. They want to see a more low-key, laid-back team that's able to deliver top service, top products, but also be able to be honest with them and communicate with them. I think they do that so well through this form of content. And again, we're very, very happy to be able to work on these sorts of tasks with them. A couple more banners. Very easy to understand. You can even see on the left banner the hodlers, the day traders, the memers. Everyone gets talked about. The next example is from our partners at Polkadex. Gosh, there's so much I can say about our collaborations with them. Just with the form of content we decided to take on, and the ways we communicate to their users are very stylish. Whether it's short promos or teasers or long form explainers or again banners, AMAs, whatever it is, Polkadex is so effective at being transparent, and I think that will carry its weight a lot in the future of the project. Again, a very young project, but from the very start, very, very good at communicating to their users. Here's just one example. So 18 seconds and you are updated on what's going on in the project. There's a call to action to join the network, and there's stylish end card. I think everything is done so perfectly in just this one promo video, and there's dozens more, and it's always premium from Polkadex. It's always interacting with the community. It's understanding what the people want to see and in which format. The banners, I'm going to go very quickly on these. Whenever I open Twitter and see them or on LinkedIn, I'm just so happy to be part of it and be part of the creation of these banners, because they are really probably some of the most stylish ones. They're very simple. They're very person-based. You know, it's not just like some technology, some service that they're showing off. There's always people on these banners, or at least most of the time. And again, it's about the community and knowing what the users will want to see. Lastly, from our examples, it is this teaser video, this 3D teaser video we made for Y Dragon. Again, very simple, but so dynamic, so quick to the point, and it drove a lot of community interaction for Y Dragon. So again, just an example of that crystal clear communication. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about my keys to hype, and to play onto the picture in the background. How do you break through and get to the community and get to the market and industry in a dynamic but also in a simple way? I'm going to only show part of this trailer because it is quite long, but it is from Bored Ape Yacht Club, and they are so good at the first key, and that's creating cults and communities, whether it's their content or their interaction in real life and in certain places and locations. I had the pleasure of being recently in New York for NFT NYC, and every single day Bored Ape Yacht Club had some crazy event, whether it's a yacht party or bringing out Lil Baby on stage showing his Bored Ape. It was very well done. And I think with 99% of projects falling through, NFT projects, that said, Bored Ape has been so successful because of being based around the community, knowing what the community wants, creating that hype, creating that understanding, and consistently driving attention to their product. Let's quickly go through some parts of this video because it's just another great example of what they do so well. First off, I really want to point out the visuals. These are amazing, and I think it's so well done. So I'll skip forward a little bit later on in the video so you can see. Bored Ape Yacht Club is not only interacting with their own community, with their own members of their projects, but CryptoPunks, Cool Cats, the mutant apes. That's so well done. It's going to drive growth from different communities, more investments into the projects. And I think even originally Bored Ape Yacht Club was seen from different communities a little bit negatively in a sense, but them connecting together to those communities is sort of reaching out the hand and saying like, hey, look, we're bigger than that. So again, the first key they've done so well at, it's creating those cults, creating those communities. Many people are not even selling their apes for millions of dollars because they want to stay in the community. They want to have that communication. And of course, who wouldn't? The next key is investing into content. And this could be easy to say because I'm all about content. It's a big part of what I do every day, from creating it to implementing it. But I think people really overlook video, they overlook banners, they overlook podcasts, interviews, and so on and so forth, and delivering it in a complete package because they don't really see the efficiency of it. And at the same time, they don't know how to make it cost efficient. They always think, wow, I have to order one huge video to make it effective, but these videos are $50,000 or $100,000. No, that is not the case. A quick tip here is ordering in bulk, whether it's banners or short promos and so on and so forth. You can, with $5,000, $10,000 of investment, you can really get a full visual package for you to start with, obviously scaling it more and more as you see first results. But again, something that needs to be done, your users in your community will want to see visually pleasing and appealing content. The next key is emotion through simplicity. So not only does this content have to look good, be dynamic, but it has to be simple. You cannot consistently be delivering hard to understand long form video content or text or whatever it might be. It needs to have that simplicity, and that's the best way to drive emotion. The next one, and one of my favorites, is the different senses. And I think this is so overlooked, just because people think of video and they think eyes and they think looking and they think, and that's really what they think about, but there's so much to the voice behind your brand. What are the voiceovers like? What is the music selection like? That needs to be on point. You need to understand, sometimes even coming across with taste and so on and so forth. But for me, the biggest two are visual and audio, voice and sound. Again, something that needs to be invested in, and our partners and clients are so good in understanding that. And people overlook it a lot because audio does not cost as much as video. There's not much investment into it, but if you do it right, it can be more effective than the visuals themselves. So that is one of my little keys that I want to point out as well. Next, quickly jumping into bear market marketing. How do you stay effective when there is a bear market, when traders, investors, the community is worried, they're panicking, there's a lot of selling. Maybe there's some diamond hands, but most of the time a lot of panic, whether it's Twitter, Discord, and so forth. The biggest key is to understand that there will be a fall, there will be a pathway down, but how do you stay on the same game plan? How do you stay with the same structure of your marketing so that you can be successful in both? And I think that goes back into the keys. You want to be very consistent in the messaging. The users, your fans, your community cannot feel that you're panicking, and there could be financial downsides to obviously being in the bear market for your company or for your project, but you need to be sort of the rock, the stable, calm team that is able to drive the community and say, hey, we'll pull out of this and we'll be even better when the bull market comes. But being able to hold through the bear market, again, is very important, and that takes effective communication, transparent communication. Sometimes it is saying, hey, everything is going pretty shitty right now, but we're going to deliver, we're going to keep working, nothing is changing from our roadmap and from our plan. So bull market marketing, and you can see the bear is panicking, and I really like the phrase bull markets make you money, but bear markets make you rich. And again, it's the same messaging for me. It's if you can stay consistent, if you can stay afloat during the bear market, then there's nothing that could phase you. You will be successful in whatever market. Obviously, the bull markets will prop you forward and make you rocket up, but it is about staying afloat. It is about staying consistent in your communication. So very dual there. I do think you have to be successful in both markets to be a successful project. Many of the projects that were successful during Bitcoin's and overall altcoins initial bull runs, they're not there anymore. And as we can see with the market sentiment now, a lot of projects are going bankrupt and they're failing to deliver because they only relied on the bull market. So the last point I want to make is what are the very last keys to being a Web3 winner. And to me, that's speed, that's utility, that is consistency, uniqueness, and efficiency. And we talked about all of these. And part of what we deliver to our partners and clients is being the fastest. We have those dedicated teams. We have those effective conversations and communication from our account managers and account executives that say, we will work overtime, we will work the late night to be faster than your competitors. It's the utility, it's being able to understand how the content and the marketing can be utilized, and understanding our partners and clients' interaction with their community. Thirdly, it's the consistency. Our best partners are the ones that know they need to be consistent and they need to deliver at all times. And that's something with our help that they do deliver. Fourth, uniqueness. You need to be special. You can't be copying and copy and pasting what the biggest players do. You can't be following into this crypto meme-ish style. It needs to be special. It needs to have its own design and be, again, visually pleasing. And fifth of all, efficient. If you don't know how to make things cost efficient, you're always overspending or underspending, you will not be able to be consistent. You will not be able to deliver speed. So you need to find that package. And a lot of my everyday conversations are about how do we make things more unique, but at the same time keep that efficiency? How do we have more output, but make things always more cost efficient, always faster on the timeline? So again, another 5 points for you to look at to be a Web3 winner. That's about it for me. Thank you guys so much for your attention. Again, let's keep in touch, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram. You will have the recording in this presentation that I'll send to you, and you can click on it, as well as links that will be in the chat and in the description. So again, thank you so much for your attention. I'll be happy to hear any questions, give any advice, and consult with anyone that might need it. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. There we go. All right. Thank you so much for hearing that out. I do have a list of questions from all of you here on my phone. Let me just pull it up. Give me 1 second. I will go through about 5 of them. If you guys have any other ones, feel free to comment them in the chat. I'll take a look at them after I'm done, and then we'll go from there, and I'll answer them in the chat. But once again, first one is, what is the minimum budget needed from a video about the company? So I'm guessing a company promo or a company explainer. This one's from Elizaveta, and she said about 20 and 30 seconds. I would say the minimum budget for something with animation, just graphics based, $5,000 to $15,000 on the highest end, and that is just to have those extra resources to be effective. Although you can always be effective in the $2,000 to $5,000 range, I think 5 to 15 is the safer range where you could play around with more things, leave budgets for extra edits, and be comfortable there. If we're talking about a live action company promo, although it is still 20 to 30 seconds, I'd say above 10,000 to be safe, but that is very dynamic. That would be something very cool. If we're thinking UGC, so user generated content or something more rough, you can still get away with it in the $5,000 to $10,000 range. So for both of them, I'd say $5,000 to $15,000 plus would be the best way to go. Hopefully that answers your question. Let me know if you have any other ones. The next one is, what is the coolest, most unusual work you've done for a Web3 project? And this one's for Ksenia. Probably the most coolest and unusual don't really overlap. I think one of the coolest things is what we do with Polkadex, and just seeing the community feedback, and being able to not interact but read what people are responding on Twitter in real time, see how the token is performing. That's a very interesting concept to me. The fact that the marketing is directly affecting token pricing and so on and so forth. Most unusual, I'd probably say we did, like when the NFT sort of bull run was just happening, we did a collection about animals, and it was very cartoonish, pretty interesting. I think that was the more unusual one that I could name. I wouldn't say it was super cool, but again, just something interesting. It was a change of pace in the Web3 space. The next one is, why crypto projects choose isometric style of explainers. I don't think there is a like a just one style, one choice. We'll actually be releasing some more explainers in the next few weeks and months with our clients that you'll see are not directly isometric, although they do reveal and have some of that style. I don't think that's the one style everyone picks. I just think they look at their competitors, they look at the top players, and it sort of stays and sticks in their head. But I think it will be more diverse. It will keep changing. It's also a very budget efficient option, a very budget efficient explainer, something that gets done decently quick and can be done in bulk, and it's pretty easy to get the message across. Next question is there any chance that leading metaverses will become a part of Web3 or not? What is the difference between Web3 and metaverse? Who will be at the top? Big difference right now. Web3 is sort of like the decentralized version of the internet. And the metaverse is currently right now more like spaces within this internet, games, VR, and so forth, because we're even seeing most of the successful metaverse companies are somewhat in a way still Web 2 to their approach. So I think there's a big difference right now. I do think it comes together that the best metaverses, and whether it's one or many, will have a lot of overlap with their Web3 counterpart or project or however they decide to do it. But currently, again, there's a big difference, and it needs some work to say the least. Last quick question. I didn't understand. Someone wrote, I didn't understand any of the Dragon commercials. Who are they and what do they do? So that is our partner and client, Why Dragon. I will refer you to their website to check a little bit more out on what they do. Don't want to spoil sort of the product pitch for them. But it was, again, just a quick 3D teaser to talk a little bit about the company, hype it up. It was used well on social media, had great conversions via advertisements. So yeah, that is a little bit from me. Checking if I have any other questions. Seems to be not any other ones. Again, thank you guys so much.